So, you ever felt lost? It might be the worst day of your life, but it's the greatest. It will be the greatest day of your life because that's where you find yourself, I believe. But most time, when people say time don't get better, they do. It's just that the way that you think about things, the way you train your mind to think. Sometimes I talk myself really bad. Sometimes there are good days and bad days, just like we all have. And in those moments when I was 20, I wanted to talk about the things that, man, I might get. Oh crap! All right, when I was 20, I was heartbroken, and I wanted to die. Hold on, tree branch. I wanted to die, and I start asking, and I was crying while I was washing dishes in the restaurant job, and I was crying, and I couldn't understand my pain, but I think I did understand my pain. Oh, gotta go the other way. And that I cursed at God. I want everything to burn. That sounds horrible. Because you're at that moment that you don't want to live. Like, I'd rather sleep, dreaming, because dreaming, in my dream, it was better than reality, right? It was so tough living the reality that I didn't want to live, and reality sucked for me. And I wanted to sleep away because, like, in that dream, in those moments, that all the magical things happen, even though some of the dreams become nightmares, right? And that's so. Oh yeah, when I was a kid, back probably like 7, I used to go with my friends into these woods. Not this wood, but the other woods. In the older house. So let's go back. Asking about life in general, and I was talking to the priests or monks, and they can't get married. That sucks. Or they have to live alone. Oh god, that's terrible. All right, so I guess they're serving of God, I guess. But in those moments, like, it was so dark that I couldn't see, and then in those moments when you're tired of that life, you start asking questions like, why do we have to be born and die? Why? Because I was reading the article of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said he was pissed. Like, why do we have to die? And then he said he hoped that there's another life than this, or some article. Some said like that. So I asked all these questions, why? And then I start to talk to the Korean chef. His name is Mr. Young. Conversation that I don't want to be having with him when I was 20. Yeah, he was like 40, 50 something, man. And I start talking like, yeah, and I start asking questions like, I felt lost. I remember when I was going on the bus, go to college, and I felt lost. I felt empty. Like, I didn't, because when two couples break apart, right, what end up happening is you tie your identity to that thing that you used to be, and once you break apart, you don't know who you are, because you used to do these things, but you don't do these things anymore, and you try to find yourself. And those moments that when you find yourself is you go very inward, and you start playing the question about life. Like, why does life have to be this way? Why does there's so many pain in this lifetime? Why is the world the way it is? And you start asking questions, and once you start on that path, you start to feel hungry for answers, and then you go seek it. That's what happened to me. I felt hungry to understand why the world is the way it is. So yeah, as I was saying, I used to only one time, I guess. There was like a creek back in the old house when I was 7, I think. A couple of friends, but I can't remember. But I remember there was like Water Street. That's all I remember.